QPR on Saturday. We are joined today by Hayley to do our preview. Hayley, you can go first. Talk to us about Radamel Falcao. Should we all be worried and concerned and scared, or is this a storm in a teacup?
I think with Falcao, there's been a lot of stuff in the press. It's an easy story to write. He got dropped out of the 18, which is a very strange move. So obviously there was a lot of confusion and worry about it. Does it mean something more? I don't know. I don't know if Van Gaal's even made his mind up at the minute with it, whether he wants to keep him or not. But my opinion, it's far too early to say, because at the end of the day, there's still 4 months of the season left. I think we need to sort of see how that pans out. Give him some more time, but yeah, it's a bit of a strange decision, definitely, having Wilson over Falcao.
Okay.
So,
Howson, we know you love Falcao.
He's a handsome man.
You love him. Yeah, we all agree on that. But how do you feel? Are you concerned? Are you worried that either Louis van Gaal is mismanaging him, or perhaps he just isn't fit, and this is all just a huge waste of money, and he won't sign?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what the problem is with him. We've said that the forwards don't look great this year, but that's more to do with how the midfield's performing and how the rest of the team's performing. It's not like he's had a raft of chances and missed them. As of none of the strikers, they've all done okay with the scraps of possession that they've been given. It's inexplicable why Falcao's not been playing. It's always inexplicable when he's the one subbed off. Clearly, Van Gaal's got his favourite in Van Persie, and that yielded a few goals over the last month and a half or so. But Falcao has to start. We're not going to see the best out of him until the midfield starts playing better and until we start playing him regular. I have no idea why he was left out of the squad at weekend, and I hope he's not left out this weekend. I hope it's Van Persie's turn.
Do you believe the official story?
I don't even know what the official story is.
The official story was that because he knew he had to take off Di Maria and Luke Shaw, he had to have substitutes that could give him more options once those two had gone, and obviously 2 places were guaranteed, so like Fellaini and having loads of defenders were, because he knew Di Maria and Shaw would come off, and therefore there was no room on the bench for Falcao.
No, because you always have your best players on the bench. If, let's say, there was an injury early on, that you have to account for every possibility, don't you? So if there's an injury early on and you've not put Falcao on because you'd preempted some substitutions, then you're going to look like an idiot. So I'm not buying that official story. No, not that I'm saying I know what the other story could be, but it doesn't really make sense.
Hayley wasn't sure, Howson wasn't sure. What do you think is going on with Falcao?
£42 million is a lot of money for a man that's about to turn 30 years old.
I think we can all agree, that £42 million is a lot of money in any situation.
Well, it's relative, though, isn't it? If he was 21, it wouldn't be a lot of money for a guy of his ability. That's what I'm trying to say. Although I know you were joking, sir. But I think...
$50 million for David Luiz, 42 for Falcao is a goddamn bargain.
Yeah, but...
All right.
But yeah, I mean, that's the strange thing. So I don't know if I would spend that money on him. Unless he, I agree with what your man said there, that he's not getting the opportunities, and at the same time, when he's on the pitch, our midfield are creating absolutely nothing. So we need to solve that problem first. At the same time, I just don't agree with spending that much money on a 30-year-old player who got injury problems, can't stay fit. And I think he has missed shots. I mean, I've seen him against Spurs, he missed some sitters. Hull, he missed some sitters. Against Everton, although he got the winner, I remember him having a couple of shots where he just completely missed the ball. Maybe he's trying too hard. Maybe he's not fully fit. We don't really know, because Van Gaal keeps his cards pretty close to his chest. But I've not been as impressed with him as I was. When we signed him, it was like hysteria, and the songs from straight away, and the buzz around Old Trafford was fantastic. But it's been a little bit of a letdown, really. It's been a bit lukewarm in terms of the way he's put himself across and performed.
Okay, so do you think we should all calm down about Falcao and not worry about it?
I suppose as fans, you're always going to worry about what's going on at your club, because we want to get back to challenging for the league, back in the Champions League, and looking like a side that's dangerous. So you're always going to worry, but at the same time, you're in a position where you don't know, you know nothing. You see 3 respectable journalists give you 3 different opinions about what's going on. So the best thing to do is to sit there, cheer the team on when they're on the pitch, and just hope for the best at the moment. That's how it feels for me.
Okay, let's move on. Hayley, at Manchester United right now, there is something happening on the pitch that isn't quite right, and nobody can quite put their finger on what it is, and why we're not getting the performances, and why the strikers aren't getting the ball, and why the ball just bobs along between Chris Smalling and Johnny Evans all the time. Do you think the problem, and the reason we're not closing out games and winning games and getting more goals and dominating teams, is the formation?
I think that in my opinion, is a big part of it, but it doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, clearly the players that we have in some positions are not good enough. I mean, yes, injuries have played a part, but when you're playing the likes of Johnny Evans, who, you know, he's just had an absolute mare recently, he looks terrified when the ball comes near him. You know, players like that who are panicking in you know, situations against, you know, panicking against teams like Yeovil. I mean, that's ridiculous. And you know, players like that, you know, when we play those types of players, and as sad as it is to say, you know, Darren Fletcher's having a bit of a tough time of it, to say the least, at the minute. Has put in some pretty poor performances, and obviously, you know, in that case, the personnel needs to be improved upon. But yes, I don't get it. I don't get the formation. It's you know, we're essentially playing an extra player in a place we're weakest in. So we're playing 3 centre backs in a place we're weakest in. And I get it that we're trying to essentially, you know, strengthen a place where, you know, 2 centre backs, they're not good enough, so let's add a third one. But we're stifling our attack. We're lumping the ball over. You know, the strikers aren't pacey enough to get in behind the defence, and, you know, 0 shots on target. It just looks so bad, and you know, I can't believe, you know, a few months back we were actually scoring 3-4 goals a game. It just it really, something has to give. We can't keep having or creating so little chances because we're not going to win matches, essentially.
Howson, do you agree?
It's not a simple yes or no answer, I don't think. There's elements of the formation arguably, but I don't think fundamentally 3-5-2 or whatever way you want to paint it is such a bad formation, really, especially with the personnel that we've got. I think it's the way that it's been implemented, especially by the 2 guys that are responsible for controlling possession in the centre of midfield. We're too happy to allow the ball to go around the back 3 and not happy enough to allow people to have it in central midfield. I've even forgot what a good central midfield looks like at Old Trafford lately, because we've just been allowing ourselves to have the ball at the back. Lou Van Gaal said it before the Spain game of the World Cup that he was happy for them to have the possession football that they have, because when they've got it on the back 4, they're not doing any damage with it. Well, he needs to take his own advice and look at what we're doing right now, because we're not hurting anybody when we've got the ball at the back, and we can't move it through the thirds so we can get any sort of attack going.
Not bad for a half man, half robot. Good opinion. Right, Tel, we're going to have to crack on. So can you tell us your team?
My team. So I would have De Gea in goal, no question. Raphael, Smalling, Rojo, Luke Shaw at the back. I'll have 4 at the back. I'd have 2 sitting midfielders with Blint, Carrick, and then 3 attacking midfielders, interchanging their positions in Di Maria, Mata, and Mr. Waziruni. And up front, I would go with Falcao, mainly for his energy and his perseverance, and using Daily. I know I've got 2 holding midfielders, but we are away, and I'd use Daily Blint as the link up between defence and attack, which is not happening at the moment. That's what I would go with. Okay.
Right, lovely stuff. Thank you, Tel. Hayley, what's your team?
I've gone for the bit of diamond 4-4-2. De Gea at the back, obviously. Raphael, if he's fit. Smalling, Rojo, Shaw, Blint or Carrick. I mean, both of them can hold. Blint looked good last week. We'll go for Blint at the back in the holding midfield position. Herrera and Di Maria in the central midfield. Mata in the number 10 role, and Rooney back in a striking position with Falcao. So,
okay, very similar teams. Howson, what do you think?
Mine's going to be very similar to that as well. I'm going to go with...
No, I want your opinion on their team.
Oh, you want my opinion on their teams?
Yeah, which one your opinion?
I'm probably going to go with Hayley's. I would like to see Carrick in the back line and Blint given the holding role a little bit, I think. I think the 4-4-2 diamond is the way to go at the moment with what we're doing, just to mix it up, because the last 6 or 7 weeks we've had the same thing with the same formation. So a new formation, a fresh change, and let's get some goals on the board.
Okay, good. Right, Howson, while you're there, you've got your spreadsheets out. Tell us about QPR. Who should we worry about?
Nobody. They're not a very good team. The biggest threat to us this weekend is us.
Okay, Tel, do you agree?
No, I think they've got 2 players that can cause damage. You've got Charlie Austin, who's banging in goals for fun at the moment, and he'll bully our centre-backs. He'll give him a right slap. And then you've also got Vargas as well, who's quick and nippy, he can get in behind. And Luke Shaw and Raphael, even though they're our best 2 fullbacks, they don't like players like that. They're liable to get themselves booked at least, and maybe worse. But other than that, they're not a very good team, but those 2 should be looked at as a danger.
I refuse to believe Charlie Austin is a match for a midfield of Di Maria and Herrera and Blind and possibly Rooney.
No, but he might be a match for the likes of Johnny Evans or Chris Smalling.
I think he scored more goals than all of them players put together.
Have a bit of that, Howson. Didn't have that in your spreadsheets, did you? Hayley, what do you think of QPR? Who should we be worried about?
Well, actually, I was going to mention Austin. He's in good goal-scoring form. I think the biggest problem is our away form. That's what scares me. It doesn't matter who we're playing, we can go out there and just look appalling. So please don't do that. Please play something other than 3-5-2 and not be terrible.
Okay, good advice. Okay, let's move on to predictions. Tell, what do you think the score will be?
I'm going to go with it sealing Harry Redknapp's fate and him losing his job, and 1-0 to Manchester United.
Big prediction, I liked it. Howson?
My head says something crazy like 1-1. My heart's going to say 4-0.
Okay, what are you going to say with your mouth?
I just said.
So you're going for... Well, I mean, you gave us 2
I'm a man of the heart. I'm going with my heart.
Right, I see. You're just so loving. Hayley, what do you think the score will be?
I'm going to go for a very safe 2-1 to United, I hope.
2.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Okay, 3 very different scores. I am more inclined to go with Tell, and I think we'll just edge it a bit. Maybe 1 or 2-0. I'll say 2-0 to make it different. Right, guys, thank you very much. Everybody at home, subscribe, check out Full Time Devils. Anybody want to promote anything? Don't rush at once.
Ladies first.
Go on, Hayley, you got anything you want to promote?
Just give a shout out to another good channel, The United View, and also my blog, which is grillred.co.uk.
There you go, get on those. Tell.
Yes, the Devils Bus TV is my YouTube channel. Subscribe, and I'm also selling a full Fiesta at the moment. So message my Twitter account, and I'll sort that out for you. All right, I'll do you a good deal. Keep it cheap.
Right, there you go. Howson,
I can't top
got
that.
any cars up for sale?
I can't top that. I can't top.
Okay. Right, brilliant. Cheers, guys. Bye. Different story.
Change
You just
job quite quickly.
do it like this. Too many papers.
Rio Ferdinand is now a bus driver and has had 26 kids with 9 different women.
There's a.
So I don't know
this
when
is
he's
too-
changed.
It's different story. You
Changed job
just
quite quickly.
do it like